So let's kick things off with a big question. What's a more effective way to build a prison? Do you use pain or do you use pleasure? Two of the most famous novels of the 20th century tackled this exact thing, and they came up with chillingly different answers.
And that's what we're diving into today. We're exploring these two incredibly powerful dystopian novels that both ask this really fundamental question about control. Is a population better managed by what it fears or by what it has been taught to love?
Okay, so we're talking about George Orwell's 1984 and Aldous Huxley's Brave New World. Now, both of these books lay out these starkly different paths, but they lead to the exact same destination, a society that's perfectly stable and perfectly unfree. You could say one builds a prison out of walls and barbed wire, while the other builds a prison out of endless, shallow fun.
All right, let's get into the nitty-gritty. Both Orwell and Huxley imagine these worlds where the individual basically gets sacrificed for the greater good. But how they get there? Yeah, their methods are complete polar opposites.
No matter which book you pick up, the end game is the same: absolute social stability. In 1984, it's all about the party's power. That's the ultimate goal, and it's maintained through constant struggle, constant vigilance. But in Brave New World, the whole planet is organized around this motto: community, identity, stability. See, the goal there isn't just raw power, it's creating this totally placid, conflict-free existence.
So, how do they pull it off? How do these regimes actually enforce their will on everyone? Well, this is where the two visions just split apart completely.
Orwell's vision is just overt, brutal oppression. There's no hiding it. The state's power is in your face, demonstrated through this relentless, undisguised cruelty. Power isn't a means to an end. For the party, power is the end. Period.
And then you've got Huxley, who offers the perfect counterpoint. In his world, control isn't about force at all. It's about engineering. The world state doesn't threaten its citizens. Nope, it designs them, right from the test tube, to absolutely love their servitude.
I mean, just look at their toolkits. They could not be more different. Oceania's methods are all external, kind of crude, right? You've got constant surveillance, organized hate rallies, and some pretty terrible gin. The world state's control, on the other hand, is all internal. It's sophisticated. We're talking sleep teaching, deep psychological conditioning, and of course Soma, the perfect drug for a population that has absolutely no idea it's even in a prison.
Okay, this is a really crucial point. To control the present and to control the future, both of these states know that they first have to conquer the past. They have to conquer objective reality itself. Take 1984. Here, the party is actively, deliberately destroying language as a way to destroy ideas they don't like. One of the characters even calls the whole project a beautiful thing, the destruction of words. It's chilling. Think about it. As the character Syme explains, if you don't even have a word for rebellion, how can you possibly rebel? How can you even form the thought in your own mind? For them, the revolution is complete only when the language is perfect, and independent thought is literally impossible. And this leads to this wild concept called doublethink. It's the core mental trick in Oceania. It's how the party can shout, war is peace and freedom is slavery, and have people just accept it. It's how they can rewrite history today and completely forget they ever did it tomorrow, making truth whatever the party says it is, whenever they say it. Now, by contrast, the world state in Brave New World doesn't need to constantly change the past. Why bother? They've just conditioned their citizens to find the whole idea of history, well, irrelevant and kind of gross. I mean, history is messy, right? It's emotional, it's full of dangerous ideas, so what do? They just get rid of it. Simple. Just take a look at this list here. Words we take for granted, like mother and father, are treated like disgusting curse words. And you have to ask, why? Well, it's because all of these things, family, love, religion, they create deep personal loyalties. And those loyalties are a direct threat to loyalty to the state. So you get rid of them. You replace them with state-engineered bonds and this creepy mantra, everyone belongs to everyone else.
So that brings us to the next logical question. How do you create the perfect citizen for these nightmare worlds? Well, let's take a look, starting right from birth or, in the case of the world state, right from the bottle.
Huxley's world is just fascinatingly creepy here. The world state literally applies the principles of a car factory to human beings. This Bokanovsky process lets them create batches of up to 96 identical humans, all predestined and conditioned for very specific jobs. And this standardization isn't seen as horrifying, it's celebrated as the key to social stability.
Things are a little different in 1984. The family unit still technically exists, but its whole purpose has been twisted to serve the party. You've got kids being indoctrinated into groups like the spies, where they're literally trained to monitor their own parents and report them for any sign of, well, thinking the wrong thoughts.
And that right there, that just captures the absolute terror of the system, doesn't it? The most natural, fundamental human bond, the love between a parent and their child, is turned into a weapon. It turns every single home into a potential outpost for the thought police.
Okay, so both of these books were published way back in the mid-20th century. They were reacting to things like totalitarianism and the rise of the assembly line. So why on earth are they still so chillingly relevant to us today?
Well, Orwell's warning is pretty clear. He's telling us to beware of external oppression. He was terrified of a world where information is kept from us, where history is constantly rewritten, and where the state uses pain to keep us in line. You could say Orwell feared the things we would be forced to hate.
Huxley, though, he warned us about something much more subtle, a different kind of tyranny. He saw a future where we aren't controlled by what we're denied, but by what we're given. A world where we are just pacified into submission with endless entertainment and pleasure. Huxley didn't fear what we would hate. He feared what we would come to love.
And really, that brings us to the final crucial question for all of us. Which future is scarier? The one that bans books, or the one where nobody even wants to read them? Are we more threatened by a world of enforced ignorance, or one of willing distraction? Is the real danger a truth that's hidden from us, or a truth that's just drowned out in a sea of total irrelevance? That's the profound and honestly pretty unsettling question these two masterpieces leave us to wrestle with.